little bit till some people get in here, but I'm gonna walk out to these into these beans. We're at the point now that dying. The whole field is affected, wilted, burned up, just dying. Kind of sad because these beans had potential to be like a lot, like really a lot. Um, they're not a complete loss, but if you can see what they look like right now, they're just on the. Let me flip that camera around. You don't need to look at my face. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna walk up here just a little bit. They were pretty close to really exploding, you know, and then it just dried up. We had an inch and a half of rain here, you know, that little bit of foxtail, but this is, you know, dead. And you get down here, this pod has one bean in it. Yeah, rather a disheartening story. If we are to get rain, you know, if we are to get rain like tomorrow, they're saying tomorrow we're supposed to have some rain. Uh, it'll probably just finish filling these pods. My hearing aids are dying, so if my sound goes bad, that's what it is. You know, but you reach down and they're pretty full. I'm just going to show you. They're 3 bean pods. They've been stressed out. Oh, it's okay. There's no reason to be sorry. Um, you know, they are what they are. Now this ripped with a ripper. Of course, I limed it. Um, and they're beautiful. I mean, they were beautiful, and now they're just like in really bad way. They're in a really bad way. Now I've got other soybeans that don't look like this, but this field here was ripped and worked. The next field down was ripped halfway, and that is nowhere near as bad as what these are. They're nowhere near as bad as what these are. These probably would have been 80 plus bushel soybeans if we'd have got the rain that we needed. But if you look here, I mean, it is just absolute dust. Lower leaves are all falling off. Yeah, it is. It is kind of sad to see it. But what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? So there's a few things that I am going to do. One is I'm not complaining because, you know, what's the point in complaining? There's beans here. Maybe 30, 35 bushel, maybe 25, maybe 40. I'm not sure. We don't know until we actually get out in here and combine it. You can see the different waves. This is where it was really dry. And then you get up in here and it's not so bad. Get over the knoll and it's really dry. So this is the worst field that I have. So I really shouldn't be bitching too much. If I got an inch of rain, these things would all come back to life. They would all come back to life. These pods that are on there would just fill out, and that would be the end of the story. Oh, wait, somebody. Yeah, it is so weird. It's not. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Thousands of acres, Milo, beans baled around me. No, we don't have that problem. Haven't been on in a while. My wife passed away 2 months ago, and she's 42. Spent 18 years fighting cancer. You know what, Chicago Joe, I'm really sorry to hear that. As you probably know, my sister lost the fight to cancer back a while back. In the Dying Beans, currently on tour. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, we're in the 90-degree ranges. Right now, it's a little less nasty. But if you look down here, you know, I mean, I'm gonna look down here. You can see them. There are pods, and they are full. But the difference, they're not completely full. You know, there's a lot of flat beans in there. So what would have been and what is going to be, if we don't get any rain in the next few days, it's crazy. But whatever, such is life. I'm not going to whine and complain too much. It's just really sad because when you have the highest prices ever for your soybeans and you watch them dry up and die. I haven't grown soybeans in 7 years. I'm not regretting growing soybeans this year. I'm just not happy that this is what we've got. And you get spots like this. I mean, this is just crispy. That's just drought. That's just drought. And the beans are down there, but whatever. You know, whatever. It's gonna push harvest up a little bit. It's gonna push harvest up, the harvest dates up a little bit. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna walk down here. Take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing here. We are having a drought in the UK. Oh yeah, you guys are really bad. I gotta rinse the sprayer out. That's my job right now. I got Timothy's raking hay. I don't know, what is that? Hello from Norway. The ripping was a bad thing then. This year, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. It just, I wouldn't say that it was a bad thing. It just wasn't right for this year. Personally, you know, I'll rip it again next year. No, I'm not going to rip it. This field here, and we're going to walk down to the protected field. The one that when it gets a little bit, the sun gets over the horizon a little bit. Now, this is the worst part of this field too. You know, the sprayer I didn't get it on the edge here, but there's beans there. So, but you get down here next to the sunflowers that I have. There are sunflowers and pumpkins. They're down there. And some ragweed in there. But that's okay. I'm only going to combine those. That was something fun to do. Didn't amount to much. But you get into these beans here. If you could see, like right here, this is a little bit lower spot. But they're starting to wilt away too. I don't know. This intense heat. There's one thing you don't see here, and that's deer damage, which is a good thing. Yeah. So we'll just walk on down here and into the shaded area, and we'll see. No bugs. You know, if there was aphids or something on these beans, then they would be dead already. I don't know. It's just a little disheartening. Let's put it that way. But the nice thing is we do have the price. You know, the price is there. So if the price is there, then that means that we will recover. Oh, we got deer damage here, right on the corners. I always do that. But the price is there. If we get 30 bushel yield on this stuff, then it'll be good. It'll be fine. Be just fine. But this field here is more protected, and you just don't see that browning as much or as prominent as it was before. These beans here, because they're shaded by these trees, much nicer, much more beautiful, like pods all up and down, you know. So you can just see where the shade is. This field here was not ripped, but this is a drier field, much drier field. And there it is. So whatever. Not really. Hope you get some rain soon, Wes. Yeah, well, irrigation is the future. No, not here. You couldn't pump enough water. It would cost a fortune. How many bushels are break even on this? I don't know. You know, I really didn't push the pencil on that for soybeans. I could tell you that they were $57 a bushel to, you know, a unit, $57 a unit, and a unit was 180. No, how much was it? I needed, God, Wesley, how many pounds was that? 180,000 seeds, I think. Well, I know that's what I put down, 180,000 seeds. So if it cost me, say, $75 an acre for seed, and I don't know. You know what? I have to look. I can't remember. I never pushed the pencil on soybeans because, you know, 30 bushels to the acre, you're making money, big time money on them, on these beans. But so I'll just be honest, I don't know what the break even is. But 57 a unit, I think we're putting a unit and a half on, approximately a unit and a half on. So if it's 57, just say $75 an acre just for the seed. So $75 an acre, we're at what, $16.50 for a bushel of beans. So $16.50 for a bushel of beans. So 16 is 32, so $33. 66 is 4, so 5 bushel. Let's just say 5 bushels is break even on this. The herbicide, I'm gonna say I went on the cheap with this. I'm gonna say that the herbicide was somewheres, you know, in that $20 to $22 an acre. So just say 8 bushels to the acre break even on that. And the fuel and the drill, let's say I break even, and my break even on the high side would be 15 bushel. So 15 bushels. If I got 30 bushel, I've doubled my money, right? So I don't think it'll be 15 bushels. It's probably more like 12. So, but anyway, yeah, these beans, they might surprise me. I might get 40, but they're not going to be the 80 to 100 that I thought we were going to have, you know, or that could have been because of this severe drought. I mean, all of July was dry. Now we've got nothing in August. No rain in August at all. What is it, the 12th or the 14th today? I think, something like that. These are the first beans that I planted. These are the worst beans that I planted. Now, if you go, 3 miles that way, you know, north of here, I've got soybeans over there. They're not wilting at all, and they look good. And so you've got that. So if they're not wilting, then that's a good thing, right? You go 2 miles south, 3 miles south, I've got 70 or 60 acres of beans down there. They look good. They're later planted beans. So if we get rain in the next couple of weeks, we'll be good. Oh, it's going to start raining as soon as it's time to harvest. You are 100% right there. But watching these soybeans burn up like this is just the most disgusting thing that a man can go through as a farmer, you know, just terrible. I'm going to do this. I don't know if I can do that. Will that work? Orientation, I have to rotate it back. So anyway, that didn't work. The corn, I don't know what the corn is. I haven't even walked out in a cornfield. But I think the corn is faring better than the soybeans right now. These beans, anyway. I got 115 acres right down the road that look much better than these. Much better than these. So let's face it. I got 450 acres of soybeans. 450 acres of soybeans. And if I was to get the 30 bushels that this is probably only gonna produce, you know, 3 times 450, I mean, you're still looking at 12, 13, 14,000 bushels or so. So even at 10, that's 160,000 bucks for that. You know, I'm okay. I'll be just fine because it didn't really cost that much to put these beans in the ground. So anyway, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and shut my mouth and get back to work. That is the soybean update for today. And you know, there's big poofy clouds, and at least there's no chemtrails up there, right? And I did hear that the reason we are so dry and we haven't gotten the reason we're dry is because of the La Nina out in the Pacific. The reason we haven't gotten any East Coast storms or coastal storms is because the dust coming off of China's got a drought. Now, I'm not 100% sure how accurate that is, but that's what I was told. I saw it on the news that the Chinese are in such a drought that the dust is preventing the storms from forming off the coast of Africa. So that's why we're not getting those coastal storms. So yeah, anyway, I gotta get to work. I gotta clean out my sprayer, get that 7810 disconnected from the sprayer, and yeah, from there we will see what happens. 40% chance of rain, and I got about 500 acres of hay on the ground. See, that's the thing that'll make everything okay, is that I do have the hay. If these beans don't cover everything, the beans and the corn don't do what I expected them to do, at least I've got the hay. So with that, I will say a good day. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, pray for rain.